today. The weather is really lovely. I've been out in the garden all day, and I just got this idea that I wanted to do a different kind of tier list. I wanted to rate the warbands inside their seasons with regards to how fun they are to play. So I'm going to start off with Shadespire. Shadespire, as you all know, is the first season of Underworlds. Pretty basic fighter cards. No hunters, no quarries, although some have become hunter quarries and assassins and stuff like that afterwards with the recent errata. The warbands inside Shadespire are the following: Steelheart Champions, Garrick's Reavers, Sepulchral God, Iron Skull's Boys, Chosen Access, Spiteclaw, Swarm, Fast Riders, and Magor's Fiends. And I'm gonna try to rate these out of how fun they are to play. I'm gonna base that off, the fighter cards themselves. Do they have any fun upgrades, ploys, objectives, or inspired mechanics, what have you? And I'm gonna start off with my least favorite warband in the season. Might not be a surprise, but it's gonna be the Steelheart Champions. All they have some stuff going for them. For example, they all inspire to 2 shields. They hit really hard. 2 of the fights hit for 3 damage from the get-go. And that's really strong. But they don't really have any fun ploys. They don't really have any strong objectives. They have really lackluster upgrades as well. And they all start with 3 move, and they don't get any extra move when inspired. So that's gonna be the least enjoyable warband for me to play. I don't really have any warband inside all of Underworlds that I don't really like to play. I can certainly play Steelheart Champions, but that's gonna be the least enjoyable warband for me to play out of these. Alright, next up is a toss-up for me between Fast Riders and Iron Skull's Boys. I do think the inspired mechanic for Iron Skull's Boys is pretty fun, inspiring when taking damage. And before some recent Orc warbands, they kind of had some tricks that were solely their own, like react to a move and then make an attack. Brutal Cunning or Cunning Brutal, whatever it is. But now that Morgoks have come out, they also have that stuff, so they don't really have much that's unique to them. And so I'm gonna put the Iron Skull's Boys second to last. Here they also have pretty crappy move, and 2 of the fighters have 2 swords, 1 damage attacks. They are just a weak warband. And this is not a tier list, but it's not going to be an enjoyable warband for most people to play. Although I really like the models, they are some of my favorite orc models in the game. And as I said, I can certainly enjoy them, but they are going to be second from the bottom here. Next up, I have put Fast Riders. They have a pretty boring inspired mechanic, just be on the opponent's side. It's pretty easy to accomplish, but yeah, 4 move on one fighter and 3 move on the other guys. I think mobility is a big part of what's enjoyable with the game. Being able to move around the battlefield and control it. And although they have a couple of interesting ploys, like shoot a second time and +1 damage for any range, those are pretty fun. They don't really have any objectives or upgrades that make them tick, basically. So I'm going to put them third from the bottom here. Next up, I have put Garrick's Reavers. Although they have some fun stuff, certainly have a lot of fun ploys, like the Insensate and the one that you can respawn on your side, and some extra dice stuff. And they have a decent objective that pairs up very good with Pure Carnage, Corn Cash Knot. You can certainly make them work. They are pretty weak fighters. They have good move though, that definitely takes them 1 step up from Fast Riders. And yeah, upgrades wise they don't really have any super fun stuff. So yeah, they're gonna be next up here. Now we're getting into some really interesting warbands. And next up I'm gonna put the Chosen Axes next. It was my second warband I bought. And I mean, the leader inspiring to 4 damage and cleave is crazy, and Tefk is also really strong. But the fact that they all have 2 move and they have a really hard inspire mechanic takes away some of the fun. But they have really interesting ploys, and not only strong but also very fun ploys. With the Piercing Stare, you can basically choose a fighter and on an enemy fighter who can't attack you next round. And that's just very strong control. And like the push any fighter, friend or foe. 1 hex is also really strong and fun card to include. Upgrades wise, they don't really have anything that's super useful. They have +2 move and +2 defense for the leader. But I don't really like cards that are restricted to 1 fighter, unless you're playing like Moloch or something. I think just purely the ploys make them more fun than the other stuff below them. So what we have left is Polkaboard, Spiteclaw's Swarm and Magor's Fiends. And next up I'm gonna put, this is a toss-up, but I'm gonna put Polkaboard next. I mean, in this day and age, when they came out, they were really fun. They weren't much race mechanics going on, but now there is quite a lot of that stuff, and with 2 move, they're not going to be as fun to play as something like Grimwatch or what have you. Although just beefing up the champion is obviously really fun. Yeah, some very fun cards. Bone Shrapnel, the other one that lets you attack when another fighter attacks in the right circumstance. That can be really strong, and those kind of combos are always really fun to pull off. Next up I'm gonna put Magor's Fiends. I think they still are one of the strongest and most fun aggro teams to play. They do dominant display, boldies, clean kills combo really good, and they have some strong cards to aid them. They have a free Inspire card. I can't remember at the top of my head what's in there, but yeah. Beefing up Riptooth is really fun. He's really a beast with 2 dodge and 3 damage inspired. So yeah. They are certainly enjoyable to play if you want to go hard aggro, which I think everyone can enjoy now and then. But at the top of the most enjoyable warbands for Season 1, I'm going to put Spiteclaw's Swarm. This is my first warband, so yeah, sure, I'm a bit biased here, but I think we all can agree that Spiteclaw's Swarm should be at the top here. I mean, they still are one of the absolutely most fun warbands to play, and have some really sneaky ploys, super easy inspired mechanic that is fun to pull off while doing other stuff. And yeah, just beefing up the Hungry Skaven is always fun, or you can go the route with the beefing up the leader if you want that, but probably not going to be as viable competitive environment. But yeah, I think Spiteclaw's Swarm with 5 move on every fighter, so mobile, they can respawn all over the battlefield. You can control so much with them, and as I said, really fun inspired mechanic, easy, and they do inspired attack punching up combo extremely well. You can put combo weapons on them for as long as that lasts, but yeah. Yeah, great weapon caddies all around. You don't really have to care about the torpedoes you're sending in, so yeah. Spiteclaw's Swarm gonna be at the top of Shadespire warbands. So I hope you enjoyed this little rant, and see you around for the next installment, which is gonna be Nightfall, and yeah, lots of really strong and fun warbands there. Maybe not strong, but really fun actually, at least. So see you around, take care, and don't forget to subscribe, like and comment.